3 decades after a lawsuit which made national headlines, McDonald's is once again facing litigation over hot coffee, this time by an 85-year-old who says she suffered first and second-degree burns. The suit against the franchise claims Mabel Childress was handed a cup with a lid not properly secured at a drive-thru in San Francisco. It came off when she tried to take a sip, causing her legs, groin, and stomach to be scalded. She also claims employees refused to help her. The owner of the franchise says there are strict food safety protocols in place, including training crew to ensure lids are secure and that employees and management offered assistance within minutes. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
A NASA spacecraft is set to fly to Earth Sunday and drop off pebbles and dust collected from the asteroid Bennu as part of the end of its 7-year journey. A capsule holding the specimen will parachute into the Utah desert as its mothership heads off for another asteroid. I'm Lee Silasera. This is Fox News.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Lawrence County Republican Party Show. My name is Brandon Taylor. I'm the chairman of the Lawrence County Republican Party, and I have across the table from me Mr. Lawrence Sutton, secretary of the Lawrence County Republican Party. And we want to welcome you into one of the fastest moving hours in radio, I guarantee it. How are you doing, Mr. Sutton?
I'm doing good. You forgot about our other guest right here.
Yeah, we've got Donald Trump there. I'm trying to see if we can get that on camera.
Yeah.
Is it showing up on camera?
Yeah, he's showing up on camera. Yeah.
Okay.
The Don is in here with
Good old
us.
Donald Trump in the house.
Yeah, he made a guest appearance on Monday with us with Kip and Chris Morris.
You always got that smile going.
He does. He does. So. Yeah, it's good. It's good to see old Donald in here in Tennessee. He's supposed to have this pretty much wrapped up in Tennessee, but we're going to have to see. He's had some controversial statements, for people.
He's had a few statements that have been a little bit surprising, actually.
They have. They have. I mean, I understand we have politics, but me and you both are kind of more principled than political.
Sure.
So, there's a couple of absolutes I have, and the three absolutes that I personally have is the Second Amendment, it's abortion, and it's homosexual marriage.
Yep.
And those are my three absolutes. And it looks like Donald is kind of going back and forth a little bit on two of the three right now.
Yeah, I know we were talking about the abortion issue. What's the other issue you wanted to mention?
Well, the other issue is he couldn't tell a reporter the other day what a man was or what a woman was.
Sure.
He started talking, he didn't really make much sense, but he did not want to answer the question. Mm. And, it's real simple to me. If you were born with a penis, you're a male. If you're born with a vagina, you're a female. Well, and 1,000 years from now, they can dig up the bones, they can run the DNA test, and guess what? It doesn't matter what you might have done to yourself. You're still going to come back how you were born originally.
Well, maybe we should text him, tell him, hey, Donald, 2 X chromosomes, it's a woman.
Right.
It'll be a lot easier for him.
Right.
That's an easy answer.
That is.
And we always follow the science here on this radio program. So.
Always follow the science. So maybe we'll get Matt Walsh to give him a call. He knows what a woman is.
Yeah, he does. He needs to watch some of Matt Walsh's reporting and find out what a woman is. Well, we can have some fun with that. And then the abortion, of course, seen him backpedal a little bit maybe from what I thought he was going to be saying about abortion. Springboarding off his last campaign. Of course, we've had Roe versus Wade has been overturned in the Supreme Court. So I was kind of surprised to see him kind of taking the stand that he took, not a hard stand for pro-life.
Well, unfortunately what I'm seeing with the Republican Party is they're saying we've gone too far right on this issue. Mm-hmm. The problem is that how can you go too far right on an issue when you align with what God says? Mm. And God was very plain in Jeremiah that I knew you before you were even formed in the womb.
That's correct.
And so, I understand, people, they have their own beliefs on what a human is, but to me a human being comes into play when that sperm meets the egg. Mm. and that's what God says. It's not me.
Spark of life.
It's the spark of life. Even
right.
science says that. If you, like you said, we follow the science.
We have to.
And even
that's
science.
why Democrats listen to this show.
Right.
Because we follow the science.
We follow the
science. If we
science.
quit following the science, they're going to quit listening. I feel confident in that. And I hate to lose our Democrat listeners as well.
Right. I don't even know what to say about that.
I left you on that one.
Yeah.
You didn't know where to go.
I have no idea where to go on that one.
But yeah, I mean, you're right. So again, and we're joking around about following the science, but we hear that so many times until you start following the science, and they're like, well, that doesn't count. So yeah. But here on the radio, we're definitely going to be following the science from this point forward, and we always have, I guess I should say.
Well, to me, the big thing and the best science book in the world is the Bible.
That's right.
And, the Bible was telling us things that man didn't discover 2,000 years after some of these things were written, or 3,000 years even, like with the book of Job. So to me, God has his sovereignty, and he knows a lot more than we do. And he even tells us his ways is not our ways.
That's it.
And you know what? I had a friend of mine tell me one time that trying to understand God is like an ant trying to understand us, trying to understand a human, except it's even far more than that even.
It is.
But that's the best analogy that he could come up with.
That's a good one. I may use that one. So a lot's going on in the national politics. We're seeing that, and I want to put a plug in right now because the Lawrence County Republican Party does have a fair booth going on at the fair, Lawrence County Fair.
Yes.
It's going to be starting tomorrow.
Yep.
And we want to see you come out, and we want to meet you. If you've been listening to the show, maybe if you're watching the show and you want to see if Lawrence Sutton is real, he is real. We won't have a life size cutout. We'll just have him out there cut out. How about that?
I don't know if you can find cardboard that big to get a life size cardboard out of me.
So, we'll have him live and in the flesh out there a couple of days, and we'll be talking about that more on the next radio show as well. But
we will, and I would say, if you see us, especially if you're watching, us on Facebook or YouTube, come out and say hey to us. I
Sure.
mean, we'd love to hear from you. Love to hear, maybe what we could do better, maybe what you want to hear, because ultimately this show is supposed to be for the people of Lawrence County.
Yes, it is.
It's not just for us.
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing I want to stress. We want to bring up-to-date news. We want to bring truthful news. And we want to be entertaining.
We are entertaining.
We are.
We make ourselves laugh if no one else.
I mean, exactly. I mean, it's very entertaining to me, except when you call me a Yankee. And that's fighting words there.
And speaking of that, if you're listening on the radio live, we are on Facebook, we are on YouTube. You can look us up, WDXE. Go to the Lawrence County Republican Party show. You can find us there. You can look at the show later on if you're not able to catch the entire show, or if you want to go back, we've got some archive now. We're past the 3-month mark into doing the radio show. It flies by, doesn't it, Lawrence?
It does. I mean, this whole show flies by.
It does.
We look up and all of a sudden it's like we got 3 minutes left to go. and we still have probably an hour or 2 hours worth of product to still give.
Yep. So, if you're just catching us, we're on live WDXE every Wednesday from 5 to 6 p.m. And then, of course, we do live stream and then upload the show to YouTube and to Facebook. So you can find us there as well. And look, if you're on YouTube, I'm going to ask you to hit that like button and subscribe to WDXE. It helps the radio station. We are very thankful for WDXE being willing to put out conservative talk radio and what they're trying to establish here in our local community. This is a good thing for conservatives in Lawrence County to get behind and support. And we just have 1 hour out of a week. I mean, we're not dominating the broadcast here or anything, but for people to have this opportunity to have something like this in our community, I think it's a gold mine. I'm very thankful for it.
Well, even if you're not a conservative by nature, that's okay, because I would highly recommend tune in, listen. Me and you, we listen to the other side. You more so than me. I mean, I'll admit to that. You're very good about listening to the other side. As soon as I hear the other side go off the Bible, then I kind of shut it down. But you have that ability to engage.
Well, I feel like I can win people over.
Right.
I really want the opportunity to. They're not going to change my belief, but I am willing to let someone tell me what they believe and why. And I'm not going to be a name caller. I don't want to get into an argument. I just want to say this is what I believe, and this is why I believe it. And
Right.
when I look at the platforms of the Republican Party or the Democrat Party, I want to see a platform that I agree with. And, I've been researching even the last few days, even since the last show, I've been researching the Republican platform and I've been researching the Democrat national platform and looking at both. And I really can tell you they're polar opposites. They're extreme both ends. It's not like, well, anybody could be a Democrat or anybody could be a Republican. No, I really believe there are people out there that are not going to agree with the RNC platform. They're just not going to agree with that at all. It's very biblical based, very spiritual. What we talk about here on the radio, people might say, well, you guys are really preachy, or maybe you guys talk about God too much, which we haven't had that complaint, but somebody would say that.
Right.
And if they believe that, then they need to read the RNC platform, because it mentions God, faith, our Creator, one nation under God, over and over and over throughout all that 67 pages of that platform, mentions it over and over. Now, if you go to the Democrat platform, you're not going to see God mentioned at all.
Right. You know what's kind of funny is you look at Israel, and God gave Israel the country, the land to Israel. But the only reason I think America hasn't fallen off into the ocean is the fact that our forefathers gave America to God.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
And that right there, I think God still honors us and still has that patience for us, because, I look at the things that are going on today in our society, and I'm sorry, but there's Sodom and Gomorrah everywhere.
Right.
I mean, everywhere you look, you turn on the TV, and it's Sodom and Gomorrah. I mean, I really haven't watched quote-unquote TV for probably 10 years.
You're not missing much.
No, I'm not. But the reason why is because of the things that were on it.
Sure.
And there are some things, we're just not meant to see or hear.
Right.
But when I look at how things are, and I look at how our country is not only being divided, but how they are reacting to the division. We even have states now that are absolutely, totally polar opposites. You mentioned polar opposites with the Republican Party and the Democrat Party.
Right.
Go look at the difference between Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis.
Right.
I mean, you don't talk about polar opposites of men. There is no way that you could sit there and say that those two guys...
As far as the East is from the West, right?
Right. That's a good one, Brandon.
That's what it is. There's difference as far as the East is from the West.
It is. And so, I mean, it's just getting worse and worse. But, it kind of segues into something I was reading, and we were kind of talking. Typically we don't talk much, about what we're doing, but... I wanted to bring this up to you before we brought it to our audiences, and that was John 8:41 through 47. And we always have heard that we are all God's children, and we're not. And people I know you're going to say, what? We're not all God's children? Well, we're not. We're created. We're all created in the image of God.
Right.
But it's based upon what side that we pick, if we're God's children or not. And I want to. And this is where John 8:41 comes into play. And it's John 8:41 through 47. I'm just going to read it. You do the deeds of your father. Then they said to him, which is Jesus, we were not born of fornication. We have one Father, God. And Jesus said to them, if God were your Father, you would love me. For I proceeded forth and came from God. Nor have I come of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Because you are not able to listen to my word. You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was a murderer from the beginning, abortion, and does not stand in truth, telling people that it's okay to be a homosexual and that homosexuals can go to heaven. Can adulterers go to heaven? Can liars go to heaven? Not unless we repent. But when we live in that sin, you live in that sin. You die in that sin.
Sin is sin.
Sin is sin. Because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. But because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Which of you convicts me of sin? And if I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? He who is of God hears God's word. Therefore you do not hear, because you are not of God. And so when I read that, yes, we all are created in the image of God, no doubt. But we are not all God's children. And Brandon, me and you have discussed, you have people in your family that are very liberal.
Sure.
I got some people in
I
my
love them
family.
dearly.
I got some people in my family that are liberal, and same thing.
Right.
I love them dearly, but I got to tell you the truth. And the truth is, if you are going to sit on a platform and claim to be a Christian, but you are going to have that platform of abortion, which is murder. You're going to have that platform of fornication, which is the homosexual marriage. And don't get me wrong, fornication is between a man and a woman too if they're not married.
Sin is sin.
Sin is sin, but it's the same sin. Okay?
Sure.
And that's what I want to point out. It's no different than lying. It's no different than adultery.
That's right.
But we don't have Adultery Pride Month. We do not have Liars Pride Month. We don't have Murderers Pride Month. We are not going to the adulterer and go, you know what? I love adulterers. And even though you're an adulterer, it's okay. God loves you, which is true. But then here comes the carrot with the stick. But it's okay. It's okay to be a homosexual. But you don't hear anybody say it's okay to be an adulterer. It's okay to be a liar. It's okay to be a fornicator. We're not saying those things. And that's where the danger lies.
It's not okay to be a thief.
It's not okay to be a thief. You know,
Right.
There you go. I mean, again, do we have a Thief Pride Month?
That's right.
You know what? But, we do have California where you can go and steal $990 and they can't even do anything about it.
Well, so I'm going to tie back into the RNC platform and the DNC platform.
Yes.
Okay, because I've been doing some research on this, and I'd like for people to go read these themselves. I've even sent them out to some in our group. I've sent it to you and others.
Absolutely.
And I know you just can't wait to read that Democratic platform. But, when you see one platform, literally, some people might say, well, you guys talking about gay marriage, you're talking about these issues. In the RNC platform, it outlines that the belief of the Republican Party nationally is marriage is between one man and one woman.
Right.
We're right on target with the platform.
Do you know Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton had that as well. That marriage was between.
Absolutely.
It was the Marriage Act.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, even Bill Clinton.
Yeah. And he proved over and over that he's not gay. So
I did
moving
not
right
have
along.
sex with that woman.
Right. So,
Not man, but that woman.
so he was a mess, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
But and I had to throw that in there. But so here's the thing. Then you look at the DNC platform, and they do promote all the things on the opposite end of that with the LGBT community and promoting same-sex marriages and things like that of that nature, and which I believe you ought to have freedom to live the way you want to.
Absolutely.
And that's a Republican platform. So what I want to establish a little bit of is what the Republican platform is. And I'm going to actually study this. And I've told you, I'm going to be quoting it back chapter and verse, so to speak, to some of our elected officials. Because I'm seeing some of our Republican leadership in different places in this, in the state and also in the national.
Yes.
That are lining up with the Democrat platform, but not the Republican platform. And so, that being said, I'm going to really be pushing some of these things out there as we move forward. And I'm going to be asking some of the hard questions of some of these elected officials. Not necessarily that I want to corner them, but I want them to recognize where they stand.
So let me ask you this. And I know this is a hard question, and we can't ever know somebody's heart. Only God knows a man's heart. But you don't think that they already know what they're doing?
Well, I would tell you that sometimes people can be very convincing
Right.
And the argument sounds very convincing. And if you've never read their platform and you don't see their angle, if you don't study your enemy, we watch, in football and in baseball, these teams, they go back and watch the tapes and they study. In boxing, they will spend hours and hours and hours watching how a fighter, he's going to drop that left shoulder just before he's going to swing, or how he leans back when he's going to throw that jab. And they watch these things over and over and over, and they study it so they know the next move. Well, for me, and you talking about that I'm willing to give an ear and have engaging conversations with people that are Democrats, I'm willing to do that, and also willing to go in and study their platform, is because I want to see when they're going to drop that shoulder. I want to know when they're going to lean back and try to throw that jab. They're telling you that.
Right. Do I get to hit them with the haymaker?
You're bare knuckles, Lawrence. You're not even. It's WWE or something for you. I don't know what that is, but let's get Kane in here. Glenn Jacobs.
No, that stuff's fake.
That fake stuff hurts.
Yeah, it does. But
so anyway, that's where I'm going with that, is the fact that I don't know that every one of them would recognize. And first off, we give people the benefit of the doubt.
Right.
And then when you expose someone, and when you, maybe not even expose them, but when you show them the error of their ways, we should be willing to negotiate and say, okay, you see what you're doing. What now are you going to do about it?
So is that negotiating, or is that more showing them? I mean, to me, that's not negotiating.
Well, if it gets them motivated and they want to call it negotiating, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
But if they move along, I believe it's showing them, hey, this is what we want, this is what we expect, and I think it works. Does it work 100% of the time? No, but what does? Red lights don't work 100% of the time.
No.
Nothing's going to work 100% of the time. But when we talk about it, and we're talking about trying to engage with elected officials and bring, and like what we're doing with this radio show, is we're trying to bring the public together, the community, those together with the elected officials for this area, community, county, state, whatever we can bring in. We've had Scott Desjardins on here.
Right.
And we try to bring that together. And it's because we want to show, hey, what the people want. And I'm telling you, if you were to read the Republican platform, it looks like it would have been written probably in a church fellowship hall somewhere in Lawrence County.
You know, and that's crazy, because we definitely, as a party, do not follow a lot of those things. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm seeing that. I don't know if I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but you're the one that pointed this out to me the other day, as you look at the platform when it came to the special session.
Yeah.
And the special session was almost word by word written by, in the Democratic, in their platform.
Yep. And that's something that I haven't talked about that my last time. I mean, I'm going to be bringing that up. And for those of you that may not know, you may be listening, in the Democrat National Convention, in their DNC platform, they actually talk about gun violence as being a mental health issue.
Right.
Okay. Gun violence is a mental health issue. It's not crime. They don't put it under crime. And so we had a special session called under what? The guise of mental health.
Correct.
And then they went, and what they want to deal with? Issues of firearms. And then you start looking at everything that was being proposed. It was right out of the DNC platform, even all the way down to gun locks is out of the DNC platform. That's not a Republican Party platform. That's in the DNC platform. You can go online and look this up, folks, if you don't believe me. Actually, I think it's on page 47 of it. I don't have it right in front of me, but I can look it up, and I will be talking about this because we've got to shine light to things, and that's what we do as believers. We're supposed to let the light of the Word, which you've read, shine through us to be a revelation. When the light shines through us, it should give us a revelation, and we should have that aha moment. I didn't know that was there. I didn't see that. So that's what we hope to do in the Republican Party here in Lawrence County. I was just talking to a county commissioner, just before I came on the radio show. We were over at the Rotary Park, and I had a chance to talk to one of our county commissioners, a great person. And I was telling them, COVID changed me forever.
Yes.
What COVID did for me, though, was it shined the light on issues. And it was a light that shined out of darkness, that revealed things to me. It was a dark thing. It was a terrible thing, but it did reveal. And the Bible talks about that light that shines out of darkness into the heart of men. I believe that's what these situations are. And we as believers, we always use that scripture, the thing that the enemy meant for bad turned into be for our good.
Right.
Why? Because that light that would have never came from anything good had to shine into that area to reveal to us what was actually there. And it reveals the evil is what it does. Evil reveals evil.
It does.
Good reveals good.
And what's even more, to to me mind-blowing is you look at what Governor Grisham of New Mexico tried to do when she tried to suspend the Second Amendment.
Sure.
She did the same thing with by health. It was a health issue.
Right.
It wasn't a gun issue, and it's kind of funny because they know that they can't win on the gun issue. So I guess they think, well, we fooled everybody with COVID. So why don't we fool them with the guns as a health issue?
And I like the way you brought that up, because I'm telling you, I believe the angle is going to be, from this point forward, it's all going to be about public safety or public health.
That's right.
You'll see them use that. It's all throughout their platform. Their platform's 92 pages long. So I wish people would go read it. I wish every Republican would go read the Democrat National Convention. I wish they'd read their platform. Now, I will say this about the Republican Party, and then I'm going to move on to something else because I got another topic I want to get to. But on the RNC, it was actually established in 2016, their platform, and it has not been updated. They actually voted it in again. They re-up it every 4 years. They voted the exact same platform in 2020. And at first I was kind of like, why didn't they create a new platform? But I thought, this thing is so solid, they voted it in and agreed with it twice.
Right.
I mean, that's a mandate.
That's correct.
That's a mandate when you get that. And so I'm going to stand on that, and I'm going to be pushing it forward. And I'm honored to be a part. I was more honored to be a part of the Republican Party after I read the platform.
Right.
Because if you were,
because it gave us a blueprint.
Exactly. Go online and look these up and go read them, and read them blindfolded. Just go in and say, I'm going to read this, and I'm going to read them I want to see which one I follow. Okay? I want to see which one I follow. So anyway, I'm going to move on to something else, but it does line up with this. For the first time, we're going to have a partisan school board election coming up in this next year.
That's right.
And so
we have what, 4? We have 4 seats open.
We have 4 seats open, and we're going to be talking about this more and more. It's 4 school board district, school board district number 1, school board district number 4, school board district number 7, and school board district number 8. So in Lawrence County, how this works is one school board district is comprised of 2 county commissioner districts. So if you're not sure which district you're in, if you're in district number 6 or 13 county commissioner district, that's district number 1. Okay? And I don't want to throw a bunch of numbers out there and confuse people. 5 and 7 is going to be district number 4. Okay, that's how it works.
Right.
But if you're thinking about running for school board, or you think you might know someone, I want to tell you I'm open to talking to you. We're going to be at the fair booth. If I'm not there and you walk by, ask anyone there at the GOP fair booth here in Lawrence County. Ask them how to get a hold of me. Contact me. Yeah, I want to hear from you. I want to see us run Republicans for school board. That's what I want to see.
Well, I would even take it a step further. And I know you mean this, but I want to just put it out there.
Sure.
Is we're more interested in seeing Christian conservatives run than even necessarily the Republican. But again, you cannot be a Christian nor can you be a conservative if you believe in that Democratic platform that's out there.
Well, so I'll sweeten the deal. Let's say someone is considering running for school board, and this is just me. I'm going to just be my personal opinion. I'm going to tell you who I would love to see run for school board. I would love to see some mothers run from school board.
Yeah, mama bears you do not mess with.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Put some mama bears on there. You don't mess with babies when you got mamas on there. I would love to be able to get behind some good, godly women that are mothers or grandmothers that want to get involved, that want to make sure that we're looking out for these children of this community, for their best interest, for the best education they could get. I thank God that we live in Lawrence County. I thank God that we have the school board we have. I'm not here to ridicule or to
We are blessed. We are blessed to have the leadership that we have. But like with anything else, iron sharpens iron. Mm-hmm. And the more people that we can get that are good, godly people to run, the better off this county will be.
Absolutely. And when iron sharpens iron, you have to have the same grade of iron.
That's right.
You don't sharpen iron with stainless steel.
That's right.
You'll dull both.
That's correct.
So we need to get good folks that want to run for school board. And so I'm going to say this, and I think we're making an offer here that's irresistible for some people.
Yeah.
We have available with the Republican Party here, we're in this partisan election, we want to get behind some good candidates that are conservative Christians, just like what you just said. This is what we are absolutely actively looking for. If you're already on the school board and you want to run as a Republican, come talk to us. I want to talk to you. I'm not excluding anyone.
No,
but it's not just an exclusive club for these folks. Okay?
No.
Maybe they don't even want to run. I don't know. I've not talked to any of them, and here's why. On purpose, I thought about going and talking to them first, Lawrence, but I didn't. And here's why. I want it to be said we're putting the same offer out there for everybody.
Well, see, and that's what a lot of people and me and you both. This is just me and you talking here.
Everybody else just listening in.
Everybody else is just listening in to the quiet part out
Even
loud.
Donald over there.
Yeah, Donald's definitely. And look, he's got thumbs up. See, if everybody can't see it, thumbs are up right there.
Yeah.
But we always thought of politics as being excluding.
Yep.
And that it was not inclusive to people. We don't want that. We want to include everybody.
Absolutely.
It's like we decided as a party that we were going to have $5 for fees to join the Republican Party. Most other places are $35 to $50, some even $100.
Right.
But we said $5. Why did we say $5? Because you have to have some kind of payment.
Right.
To be included.
Dues paying member.
And you know what? If you can't afford the $5, like we always say, we'll get Jared Menz to pay.
That's exactly what we'll do.
Jared will pay. He's got some money. So
it doesn't bother me at all to get Jared Menz to pay for that.
No, I love spending Jared's money.
Yeah. So, they may even pay for two of them for you.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't want anybody to feel excluded.
Sure.
And if even if your values don't line up 100%, guess what? If we can agree on 90%,
yep.
That's the other thing that we have done is that when we have a 90% agreement, we'll take that 10%. When I say we, I'm talking about people in general, not us. We will exclude those people because they do not believe 10%,
right.
But they believe 90%.
Yeah, we make the 10% the issue.
That's correct.
And you know what that's called? That's called being petty.
That is. And if you haven't been to our meetings, I highly recommend, please come out.
Sure.
Please see what we're about, because I'm going to tell you, we're pretty much the same on the radio as we are at our meetings, or if you see us out in Walmart.
I don't know how to be fake. I don't want to be fake. It's one of the reasons why we didn't even really want to do the radio program at first.
Right.
I mean, this is not something that we were just excited about doing. We were both like, okay, we'll do this because it needs to be done. The opportunity's here, and somebody's got to do it, which is so many of the other volunteer jobs that you and I have throughout the community. It's just it needs to be done, and it's a good thing. It needs to happen. Not saying that we're the best. I'm definitely not the best chairman at a Republican Party. If someone better comes along, I definitely want to get out of the way and encourage them to take this thing to the next level.
Absolutely.
But I will say this. I love this county. I love this community. And I love my family. And I want to see us grow this thing together. This is a really awesome place to live. You and I were talking about, what if someone had the opportunity to complain about Lawrence County? And I love what you said, Lawrence. And you and I were just talking. You said, who could complain about living here? I mean, drive out a little ways. I go to Nashville every day. I work in Nashville every day. And people are like, why do you drive to Nashville? I'm like, have you been there?
Right.
Because I'm not going to live there. I'm not going to raise my family there. I would rather have my family here and me get up in the morning. My alarm's going to go off at 3:30 in the morning. I'm going to get up. I'm going to go to work. And I'll make that drive and I'll make that commitment because I want my family in Lawrence County that much. And so that's how much we love this community. That's how much we want to see it grow. And in our opinion, from our point of view, the best way to do that is to find conservative, valued individuals and get them elected into these positions. And sitting on the sidelines, letting everybody else go do it who don't share our values. And it seems like just the few. It seems like there's just a select few that want to really get elected sometimes and can ruin it for everyone.
Absolutely, they can.
And even on the school board thing, that's another issue.
What is that? What is that saying? One bad apple will ruin the whole barrel.
Sure, it does.
And unfortunately, but as much as we are out there and we're talking to all kinds of Republican leadership throughout this state.
Yes.
And that's what made me realize how lucky that we are, because we're talking to people that come from what we would think is conservative counties and conservative areas, and they look at us with envy, like, wow, you guys have this and you have these things, and your commissioners are like this, and your county executive does these things. it makes me realize, you know what, we are very, very blessed.
I know counties, and I'm not going to call them out. They're listening to this show.
Yes,
I know
they are.
other GOP counties that are listening to the show, and I'm not trying to belittle them or degrade them.
No, absolutely not.
But they have every elected official in their county is Republican.
Yeah.
But yet when we went to a special session, no one from the county went. But we see our elected officials go and show up. I mean,
we had 8.
This is the good thing that we have. Well, you know what I want to do, and this is my goal. I want to see the same kind of results on our school board. And if someone doesn't want to run as a Republican, I want to ask them, and I promise you I will ask them why they don't want to run as a Republican. If they're going to run for school board and they're going to put an independent out there by their name, I don't know. Maybe they don't qualify to be a Republican. I don't know. But I want to know the answer. And if they're conservative, you know what? I want to get behind them. I want to encourage them.
Absolutely.
I want to see this thing grow. I'm after a movement, not a party. I'm promoting an ideology of values of America first. I'm a patriot. I love this country. My grandfather went in World War II. On D-Day, he stormed the beaches of Normandy. He took his first trip to France, and he stepped out there on June 6th. He was the second wave, earned a Bronze Star on that beach, stayed overseas 2 years and 6 months. And, I look at that, and I was raised up to love this nation and this country. And I cannot stand aside and let domestic interior attacks tear this country apart. There's not a nation big enough to bring it down on the outside.
No.
We will only bring ourselves down on the inside.
Just like Rome did.
That's exactly right. So, I mean, if you're remotely thinking about school board, I mean, and you have never done anything political before, you're the person we're looking for.
Yes.
If you are a believer and you want to see, you believe this is a Christian nation, and a Christian nation that is tolerant of other beliefs, because we are.
We are.
Go to some other nations that are not Christian, and they're the ones that aren't tolerant. That's just a fact. You don't have to do much research on that. But we are a Christian nation. If you believe that, you support that, and you want to give people the freedom to live their lives the way they want to with a small government, and the right to worship the way they want to and defend themselves with the Second Amendment, their First Amendment freedoms, we want you to run for school board. Right. And we are willing, as the Republican Party of Lawrence County, to get behind you, to give you radio airtime, to raise up fundraisers, to send out mailers with your name on it, to get out the vote in your community. You've never had an opportunity like this before.
Right, because you know what? Most people have looked upon, and we were guilty of this, they look at the little local elections as not being worth the time, but those are the most important ones.
Absolutely.
I mean, the president, okay, great, we're going to have a presidential election. But you know what? Our county sheriff has more say over our lives than the president of the United States does.
Sure.
Our DA that we have, our district attorney has more say over what happens in this county than the federal government does.
And our school board has more say over our schools.
That's correct. Than what the PEA or whatever it's called, the teachers union.
Right.
I mean, yes.
And so, in speaking of the school board, I've been to a lot of school board meetings, and for all the school board members that are here in Lawrence County, thank you for what you do. Because it's not easy, first off. And you're doing it. You don't get paid hardly anything for it. It's basically a reimbursement to go do it. But if you're looking for a career, then politics is not the place for you. This is if you're looking for something that drives your passion. If you're passionate about the things you see going wrong in this country, sitting at home and writing a complaint on Facebook will do absolutely nothing. Facebook is not the platform for freedom of speech.
No, as a matter of fact,
they'll limit you.
They will limit your freedom of speech. I hear people all the time saying,
they're training people for that.
Exactly.
Put you in jail for what you say.
That's right.
It's training us. I don't like Facebook.
You know what's funny? You know, we heard that saying, you know, Facebook jail.
Yeah.
But you know what? And we discussed this Monday. They're actually putting people in actual jail now just for voicing their opinions
on Facebook
or anywhere else.
Sure.
In the newspaper. And you know, I did a play on words, but it's no longer a justice system. It's just us system.
It is a good play on words.
You know.
Well, so we're seeing that. So if somebody's wanting to see something get done, if you want to accomplish something, you're not going to do it on these chat rooms. I believe that. No,
I
if you want to
absolutely
go do
believe
the
it
chat
too.
room, that's fine. But that's almost, this is my opinion, but that's almost for entertainment only.
It is.
It is not. It doesn't.
I've heard
do
too-
anything to benefit. I just don't see the benefit of it.
I've heard too many politicians tell me that when they see their Facebook post or they see the Instagram or even email, they look upon it as keyboard warriors.
Yep.
And I've heard numerous
Hiding behind the screen, I've heard.
hiding behind the screen, not going to them, and I'm going to tell you, even when we have disagreements, I'm not going to say all, but the good ones,
Yep.
the good politicians, they want to hear your disagreements. I mean, Jody Barrett. I mean, nobody crawled up on Jody Barrett more than I did, not only on the radio but to his face.
Right.
And come to find out, you know what? It was that old adage that we just discussed about. We agreed on 90%.
Right.
We probably agreed on 95% of the stuff,
Sure.
even.
Sure.
And we used that as a barrier. But you know what? He actually recognized that and explained his position. I still disagreed with it. But you know what? He explained it. He let me explain why I believe the way I did. And you know what? We have a guy. He'll be on here one day. We'll have Jody on here because
Absolutely.
I think Jody is a really good legislator that deserves a second chance.
Well, and I look forward to having him on as well. We had a chance to meet him and talk with him, and of course, and we did give him some pretty tough questions, and
We
he
did.
dealt with every one of them. So, and so you get a lot more respect by doing that. We've been effective, I think, in the
Mm-hmm.
Republican Party. I say we. There's several of us that have been out doing this, and this group
yeah.
is actually growing. In the next couple of weeks, we're going to have the guys from Bedford County. We're going to have Bo Gills.
Oh,
We're gonna have
yeah.
Eric Maddox on the radio. with
Man,
us
I'm
in a
going to tell you, I
couple of
like
weeks.
those two. But you're in for a treat with these two
They're
guys.
going to be here. They're excited about coming here. I'm going to be
Yes.
making a trip over there in 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now, going over there and being a part of their meetings. We're bringing this state together. It's about unifying. If we want to accomplish things, if we want to see something move forward, we're going to unify the state. We talk about good versus evil a lot. And we use scripture and we talk about it in principle, but evil divides and good unites. And it
Amen
always
on
does
that. And you know what? Evil will eat itself too.
It will.
I mean, you can tell when it's evil because evil will attack itself. It can't help but attack itself.
Sure.
So when you see that attack coming, knowing it's from the other side, it's not from God. I mean, that's not how God works. He doesn't work on the attack.
So again, I want to reiterate, if you're watching this show and maybe you know someone that ought to run, maybe you think, man, that person ought to run for school board.
Yeah.
Send them this show. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube. Send it over to them. Say, hey, watch this show. These guys are going to look for candidates. We want to support them. We want to give them a place to give, public speaking events. We'll help you do it. I'll coach you on how to do public speaking. That's what I do. Part of my living is coaching people how to speak publicly. You'd think I'd be better at it, but you just don't know how terrible I was to begin with. But I can help coach people on that to where they feel more comfortable in front of the microphone. We'll help you. I mean, people say, "Well, you're going to hold their hand?" Yeah, if that's what it takes, that's what I'll do. If that's what it takes to get good people elected, if it takes that and they feel like they need the support system, and I believe people do need the support system. And so people say, why would we have these partisan school board elections? And I'm going to tell you why it is. I'm going to answer the question because we have to have the support to win the elections now.
That's correct.
There has to be the parties are now too conflicting.
Yes.
They're two polar opposite, far as the East is from the West,
It is.
Florida to California.
Right.
And so they're too conflicting now. If we're going to get somewhere with the conservative movement, then we're going to have to unify and come together. And I want to get behind these candidates. I want to give them radio time. I want to bring them in. There's never been an opportunity. The golden opportunity to get involved in politics is right now in Lawrence County. If you live in school board district number 1, 4, 7, or 8, you need to get in contact with us and sit down. Let's have a cup of coffee. Let's talk about the future and let's talk about Lawrence County politics.
I would bring just one more thing in, and we're neophytes. I mean, we didn't go to our first Republican meeting until last year. I mean, we're barely over.
We don't have a history of politics.
No, we do not. But I would say if you would talk to our area politicians, the Paige Walleys, the Kip Capleys, the John Myers, the David Morgans, they will tell you if we tell you we're going to do something, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And we'll do it to our best ability. Now, our best ability, you may look at us because, man, you guys are so incompetent. You don't know what you're doing. And,
we agree.
And that's right. We'll agree, because I would say the only reason that we're where we're at now is only because of the grace of God, because we were willing to do it.
Absolutely.
And so many people have missed their calling in life because they were not willing to do it.
Amen.
And I did not want to be either on my deathbed or sitting up there with the Lord because we were raptured, and go, you know what? I didn't do what you wanted me to do. I was not able to fulfill what you had put me on this earth to fulfill. And I figured, well, as incompetent as I may be, I'll go do it and do it to the best of my ability. I mean, look at Moses. Moses, he said he couldn't even talk. So what did God do? He gave him Aaron,
right,
to go talk for him. But
That's
Moses
right.
still did it.
Amen.
And he didn't want to. And when we see our flesh, and I will tell everybody this: if you know you're supposed to do this, and your flesh is screaming out and it's saying, no, I'm not going to do it. I would much rather stay home and watch Dancing with the Stars or whatever,
Sure.
or go bowling,
right,
or whatever. But you feel it. You feel the Holy Spirit tugging on you. You need to listen to that, because it's going to give you so much more rewards than anything, even if your flesh doesn't want it.
Even and I'll take it one step further. The reason these positions don't pay very much is because they are not created by our founders of this country to be professional positions.
Amen.
The professional politician was never an invention of the imagination of the founders of this country.
Term limits, maybe?
So you probably got a lot of amens across the radio.
I'm going to tell you something. Term limits. We do not need it.
We're watching these elected officials, and they literally cannot perform their duties.
That's correct.
When you see them in their current state, if they could not get elected for the first time in their current state, they shouldn't be in there right now.
You know what? You're right. And it was kind of funny. I mean, we're going off on a tangent here, but I seen Mitt Romney.
We're rolling today.
Yeah, I see Mitt Romney says, I'm not going to run again. I'm 76 years old.
Yeah.
But, if you look at Mitt Romney, and trust me what I'm saying here, I'm not a Mitt Romney fan. Listen to me. I couldn't even vote for him for president.
I'll vouch for you on that one.
Okay.
Lawrence.
I did not vote for Obama either. But I could not vote for Mitt Romney as well. But you know what? God bless him. He's 76. He doesn't look 76. He doesn't act 76.
Sure.
But he says, I'm getting too old.
Right.
I need to step down. This is somebody else that needs to come in, and let's get fresh blood in. And he's right on that. I'm glad he's stepping down, and hopefully we can get somebody a lot better than him. But
Right.
at least he recognized it.
Sure. So, that being said, on the school board, I'm keep hammering it down.
Yeah, that's fine.
Come see us at the fair booth.
Yeah.
Okay? Come talk to us. Come open up the conversation. Say, hey, I heard you on the radio. I heard you guys looking for somebody run for school board. Maybe I'm thinking about running for school board. What areas are open up? We'll talk you through it. We'll take you down that path. We'll help you in every step of the way. We'll help you file your paperwork. We will help you get started. We'll help you make your announcements. We'll give you the microphone and let you talk. I want to have conversations with school board officials. Okay?
Yes.
I don't want them to shy away from us. People would say, well, you're controversial. Let me tell you what's controversial. Everything going on in the school systems across America is controversial.
Right.
What we're doing here on this radio show is not controversial. We've been this ideology that we promote, Lawrence, has been around in this country since its founding for over 250 years.
So let me stop everybody here so they understand. We are for freedom.
Absolutely.
When somebody says that they don't want to give you the opportunity or give you the chance, that's not what we're saying
exactly
at all.
Right.
We're just saying that everything should be on the same level playing field.
I'll say this. If someone wanted to meet with me, Lawrence, and you're always picking at me on this one, but if someone is thinking about running for school board and they said they were going to run as Democrat, I'd love to sit down and talk to them.
Right.
I'd have a talk with them off. I tell you what I would do. I would bring them on the radio if they wanted to come on the radio, or I would meet with them and at a restaurant and just have a conversation with them one-on-one, and find out I want to know why you want to run as a Democrat. I want to know what's out there that forces you to think you need to run as a Democrat. I want to know why school board officials are so bullied into believing they have to run as an independent. This county is 82% conservative. Why would you be afraid to put a conservative R beside your name?
You know what? It's kind of funny is that the people that will still run as a Democrat, you got to kind of tip the hat to them. You know, whether I believe in their
You come a long
ideology or
ways,
not.
Lawrence. I mean, look at how what I've done with you, Lawrence.
Oh my God! Don't start this one, Donald. Listen.
Oh, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
When I'm in Lawrence County, I only listen to WDXE and Lawrence and Brandon.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
So you know what I got to say about that?
What?
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. You know what? You're going to find a bumper sticker on the back of your matter of fact, I'm going to cover your entire bumpers with "Let's Go Brandon" bumper stickers. You keep messing with me, buddy.
I'm asking for it, folks. If you see me driving down the street and you see some bumper stickers, you may need to flag me down and help me out. There's no telling what's going to end up on the back. I think you're giving me the G-rated version right here.
No, I would put just "Let's Go Brandon" because you drive home with that vehicle. I would not want your children to see that, and especially your children knowing that I'm the one that put it there.
Well, I know I put that Biden sticker on your car and you never did see it, so I didn't know if you had found it or not.
Oh my goodness gracious!
I'm kidding.
You remember what last time somebody pull a gun on you when you said that you'd put a Nancy Pelosi bumper sticker on there?
An individual did pull a gun on me, and he said, "Take it off and take it off now."
That's right. What was it? I fancy Nancy?
Yeah,
was that what you said?
I put "I fancy Nancy."
Yeah.
So yeah, he did. I didn't know he had a gun on him. He pulls a gun on me. He says, "Take it off and take it off now." I said, "Yes, sir." So yeah, we get to have a lot of fun on the show. And listen, if you're listening, take this video and share it with one of your liberal friends. Send it to them. They'll thank you for it later, but not immediately.
No, I think that's when you want to get somebody out of your life.
True.
You know, if you want to get somebody out of your life, give this to your liberal friend or loan them money, one or the other.
So if you send this video to one of your liberal friends and they never speak to you again, was it worth it? I don't know.
It would be for me. Now, maybe not you, but
who knows? Maybe they'll listen and they might laugh a little bit. We might convert some.
That's right.
You know, somebody was making a point the other day. They're like, I think they had made a point that somebody who was in a Republican meeting, well, that person was a Democrat. It's like, well, okay, 25 years ago, everybody in this area was a Democrat.
All right.
The Democrat Party went to the left, and it went off the cliff. It's left a lot of people behind. And if you're one of those people, I invite you to come have a conversation with me. Mm-hmm. You cannot agree with what the Democrats are doing. You're left without a party. They literally kicked you off the wagon and took off without you. That's what's happened to a lot of people, and they didn't want them on there anymore. If they were pro-life, the party of the left, Democrats, does not want pro-life individuals in their party. Go read their platform.
They actually kicked a gentleman out of the Democratic Party. What is his name? He's a pastor.
John DeBerry.
John DeBerry. I mean, they kicked John DeBerry out of the Democratic Party because he followed what God said, not what the platform says.
Sure did. Shelby County.
Yes, and let's face it, Brandon, you and I, if the Republican Party, if they went off the rocker with God and the Bible, they would be kicking us out too.
Sure, that's absolutely. But thank God that we're here. Yep. And thank God for the Lawrence County Republican Party. This show does move very fast. Look, we're coming down to the end of it.
Yep.
I can't thank the Lawrence County Republican Party enough, and the good folks that have been coming out and being a part of what we're doing in our meetings. Our meetings are the fourth Tuesday of every month at 6 p.m. at the Lawrence County Courthouse. We would love to have you there. That's the fourth Tuesday at 6 p.m. Lawrence County Courthouse. please come out and join us. Come out. Maybe your curiosity's up. Maybe you've been hearing this and you're like, I don't know if I like these guys or not. Well, we get it. We're not going to get mad at you if you come out just to try us out. We're like a buffet. Just try what you like and throw the rest away.
That's right. That's right. We probably didn't like each other when we first met, did we?
I don't know.
You're not going to say, are you?
We're working on it. So, but, you know, it's a good opportunity for folks to meet their neighbors and good people, just solid individuals coming together and doing things. And if you're a member of the Lawrence County Republican Party, come out to the fair booth. Come out there and find us. We're out there as soon as you go in the door on the left side. We're easy to find. We've got a few chairs out there. Bring a folding chair and join us. We're okay with that. Yeah. Come in there and have fun with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, one last thing, WDXE, thank you so much. Thank you for allowing us to say what we feel that needs to be said. And they don't muzzle the ox, do they?
They do not. They give us freedom of speech here, and very thankful for it.
I am.
It's a breath of fresh air in this area.
It is. All right, well, it's coming down. Everybody have a blessed day, and God bless everybody, and God bless Lawrence County.
This is WDXE, W287AA and W237FD Lawrenceburg. Broadcast services of Prospect.